All right, guys, Friday the 20th of April, and this is my project for part of today anyhow. This truck belongs to my aunt. She's having some issues out of the brake kind of dragging or what on the back side, on this side, the passenger side rear. So this is my project for today. Is she's already got all the parts and everything for it. She just need somebody to take a look at it for her. So I'm tearing it apart, and I'll show you the parts we got, what we got going on over there. And I think I've figured out the issue. So this should be hopefully quick. Take it apart, put it back together. I'm going to replace all the pads on all four wheels though while I got it apart. So I'll update you here in a little bit. Okay, so I got the passenger rear tore apart there. I got the parts over here. This rotor is not, this rotor ain't bad. The front of it ain't bad. The back side of it though, has got a weird, see if I can catch the sun just right. See all them little like chatter marks on there? It's just kind of galled up. The whole surface of it is. So that indicates that there's something going on here. And when I took the caliper apart, you can see there's a little crack in the boot there. You may or may not be able to see that little crack there, but when we flip it over here and really get a good look at it, them boots are shot on both of them. So those boots keep the weather out and off of the pistons on the caliper. So with these boots being bad, that means that junk, water is getting up in there and it's getting all junky, and those caliper is not releasing like it should. So actually, when I took that off, I had a hard time compressing the piston to get the caliper up off the rotor. So as I was taking it apart, I was kind of getting the feeling that this thing is not letting go. And after seeing these boots tore up, I mean, they're pretty bad. There's no doubt in my mind that this caliper needs to be replaced. So I think that's the problem. The shoes themselves are not real bad. Probably if we didn't have to replace them, we probably wouldn't have to, but since you got them already, I think it's probably best. We're going to be putting on the brand new rotor anyhow, so we might as well put on brand new shoes, brand new caliper, have everything new on that side, and take care of any possibility that these parts are issues. So that is bad for sure. So I think we got her figured out. Well, I got the caliper with the new pads installed here on the bench. It's getting ready to go on the truck, and before I stick it on, I'm going to put the rotor or drum, whatever you want to call it. See, it's got a, it functions as a rotor on these rears, but on the inside, your parking brake, it acts like a drum. So don't forget, before you put or handling anything, you're going to get grease and stuff on the working surfaces of your brake parts. Brake parts cleaner, don't forget to use it on your brake parts. It's not just for cleaning stuff up to be welded or cleaning carburetors and stuff. It's actually good for cleaning brake parts as well. So don't forget that, guys. Any of your working surfaces, clean them up good and don't get your grimy fingers all over them after that. Well, I got the new rotor on, rotor, drum, whatever you want to call it. It's like I said, it works as just like your front brakes. On the outside here, looks just like a regular rotor, but your parking brake pads work on the inside here. Now I can touch this part, this don't matter, but I don't want to touch my grimy fingers on the working surface there. So anyhow, I got that on, that just slides right on, and I got my new caliper mounted, got the pads already in it, and I went ahead and bled the little rubber cover for the nipple is pretty well shot. I took some electrical tape and wrapped it around there for the time being. I'm gonna have to round up a new little rubber for her, I guess, or anyhow, that'll work to keep the dirt out for a few days probably. But I use a hose into a mayonnaise jar, and that's how I bleed my lines. So put the wrench, I probably should have showed you. I'll set the wrench on the nipple and crack it open, and then plug my hose onto the nipple, and then go around and pump the brakes a few times, come back around, and you can see if there's any air bubbles in the line. And once your line, if you really run a lot of fluid through it, once your line gets under the level of fluid under here, no air is going to suck back up. So that's a really a good way to do it if you're just doing this stuff by yourself. So anyhow, just pump it a few times till you quit seeing air bubbles in your line, and then pull your wrench back tight, and you're good. Take your hose off, take your wrench off, and then put your little rubber cap on. That's an easy way to bleed them by yourself. So this wheel here is pretty well good to go. I'm gonna stick the wheel back on it, tighten it up, and move on to the other side. The other side just needs probably just needs new pads, and the fronts hopefully just need new pads as well. Well, I got it all buttoned up. I got the put a new caliper, brake pads, and rotor on the back, and I think that's going to take care of the issues that she was having, the primary issues. Because I put new shoes on this side, I went ahead and put new shoes on the other side, and while I was doing that, she had bought shoes for the fronts too, so I went ahead and did the fronts. And that was just as simple as taking the 2 bolts. You take the 2 bolts that hold the clamp part of the caliper to the bracket. It's a 2-piece deal. So you just take those 2 bolts out, the caliper pulls off, you pull the old pads out, you stick the new ones in. Be careful of your little pieces on the edge of the pads. Oh hell, these little clippy things. They are. See how one side has got a taller hump than the other. You want to pay attention to how you take those out, put the new ones in the right way. So if you got to force it or jam it, you ain't got it right. So anyhow, I'm gonna go take it for a test drive. That should take care of this. Hopefully she'll be good. No more dragging on the rear end. I think we got that taken care of, and she should be good for a good many miles yet. She's got all 4 brake new shoes, and that pretty much does it, guys. If you like this video, click the like button. I meant to be working on the bigger digger today, that 175C, but this came up and her truck was available, so I snatched it. I've been meaning to work on it for a couple of weeks for her. So I've got 65 gallons of hydraulic fluid there, 6 gallons of engine oil, and 12 gallons of gear oil. There are 6 filters that will be changed, and where's my O-rings? There's one of the filters. This is one of the O-rings, and over there, see that little box says Komatsu there to the left of the vise? $125 for like 9 O-rings. Ridiculously expensive. So I'm going to start on that next. So if you click subscribe, you're probably going to see me doing that next. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next video.